Yo pairy, it's pairy, and welcome to my first ever series on the channel, Should You Watch It, or Saiwi for short. Saiwi will probably be a monthly or maximum twice a month event. What Saiwi will essentially consist of is, I'll explain an anime I've watched in full, and tell you all whether it's worth watching. This way, even if you haven't seen the show, you could still enjoy the video. Disclaimer, there could be some spoilers ahead, not really for this episode, but I still haven't decided whether I should go completely spoiler free in the future or have some minor plot points revealed in order to justify whether you should watch it or not. With all that stuff out of the way, let's get into the meat of today's video. My Hero Academia is a new gen anime that takes place in a world where powers called quirks are present in 80% of the global population. Some quirks are quality of life enhancers, while some seem to be bred to fight crime. Our main character, Izuku Midoriya, or Deku as most of the cast call him, is a quirkless loser. Despite having no quirk, Deku is determined to become the great hero just like his idol All Might. I'm not going to summarize the entire show, but basically Deku inherits All Might's power known as One for All, and the show focuses on him learning to harness his new ability and become the next symbol of peace. For every Saiwi video, I think I'll break the rankings into 4 categories with a secret surprise at the end. If I think the show does well in the mentioned category, I'll give it a check. If it does less than well, I won't give it a check. If a show has less than 3 checks, I'll deem it not worth watching. Unless there's some sort of necessary influence the show holds on the anime universe, then you should probably watch it anyway. So our first category is plot. The plot of My Hero is nothing extremely remarkable, but that's not to say it's bad. The show follows many classic anime tropes, and at some points the viewer can almost tell exactly what the focus of the next 5 episodes will be. Now with all the negatives out of the way, let me hype this plot up. My Hero's plot is pretty exceptional. Deku starts off weak and gets gradually stronger after working his ass off, which you may be thinking is nothing special, and you'd be right. The basic idea of the plot is nothing anything too crazy, but it's the sudden twists and turns and little details that make the story of My Hero great. Slight spoilers ahead. Episodes that stood out to me were Season 4, Episode 14, Bright Future, Season 4, Episode 25, His Start, to name a few. The latter being a top 5 episode in all of anime for me. I can't say too much about the story in this section due to spoiler reasons, but it's quite obvious I'm giving a plot a check mark. The next category is characters. This is a tricky category because Deku is often seen as one of, if not the worst mainstream anime protagonists. And while I don't believe Deku is moving mountains, he certainly isn't what people make him out to be. Midoriya is a decent MC who the audience almost always roots for. He's lovable, a bit of a crybaby, but he still has his badass moments. However, he is not the star of this category. That would have to be all the other side characters that really make My Hero a great experience. Characters like Bakugo, Shoto, Kaminari, Kirishima, Endeavor, Hawks, the list goes on and on. Bakugo is an almost perfect rival to Deku. I strongly believe their rivalry is better than Sasuke and Naruto. And before you go typing in the comments, Deku and Kacchan are nothing compared to Naruto Sas, they're just a cheap ripoff, think about it for a change. Where Naruto simply chases after Sasuke as a goal and has no clear rivalry with him, Deku and Kacchan are constantly at each other's necks. While Deku is a lot more submissive about it, he knows it's true. Anyway, Kaminari is a great comedic character who is always fun to watch. Kirishima has stellar character development for his side character. And Endeavor, ooh, don't get me started on Endeavor. What seemed like the most arrogant, annoying asshole character we could ever see slowly turned into an empathetic character we are constantly cheering for. His development is realistic and not black and white like some other shows would have it. Not to mention the amazing villains we see throughout the story, villains who we sometimes root for over the heroes.
Just like that, you're helpless. A weak corpse.
For the characters category, it's an absolute check mark. Third category, design/art style. The designs are great in MHA. Each character looks unique besides Hawks and Kaminari. That's not to say they look ununique. That's just saying they kind of look the same. They do have like the sickest fucking character designs in the whole show, but like those 2 character designs kind of look similar. The art is amazing. The animation quality is above average, and when it needs to be, a 10 out of 10. Different techniques make it easy to distinguish when something epic is happening, and lighting can make scenes feel really real. With that said, I don't think it's anything to write home about, even though I kinda just did. This isn't a bad thing though. All I'm saying is it has some competition. Close to all new gen anime have great animation now. But just because every other show is good doesn't make this show being good any less credible. Definitely a check mark. Category 4, music. While you all know the score, and I'm most likely giving MHA a should watch already, that doesn't make this last category irrelevant. In fact, this was the hardest category to score. The music in My Hero is some of the best I've seen in any anime. Scenes are perfectly fit to the soundtrack every time.
But if you seriously believe you're gonna surpass me as a hero, even with your new power,
You better think again, Deku!
Endeavor's theme is constantly being played in my Spotify, in fact. You Say Run is a classic.
Can you run that for me real quick? Now tell me you don't feel like you can do anything you set your mind to.
And the epic nature of the soundtrack fits the theme of the heroes well. But with all the good comes the bad. So you all know what happens when you plagiarize on a test. That's right, you fail. And while I think the work MHA did on this test was impeccable, it's because it copied off of an honor roll student, Haikyuu. I mean, let's be honest guys, even a sleeper could tell you these soundtracks are too similar.
My Hero Academia, is their music really unique, or does it sound like the soundtrack of another show? Let's play a song from Haikyuu. Okay, sounds pretty good. Now let's play a song from My Hero Academia.
So because Boku no Hero cheated, I have to give him a fail in this test. No checkmark for this category. Final decision, should you watch it? So, should you watch it? The simple answer is yes. The long scripted answer, My Hero is a great anime for beginners and anyone who just wants a break from extremely mind-taxing shows like Death Note or darker shows like Promised Neverland. It has its sad scenes, it has its happy scenes, its dreadful scenes, but what makes it great is it never takes itself too seriously. It isn't constantly making the MC surpass his limits, although One for All 1,000,000% was a bit ridiculous. The characters are lovable and have a bit of lovable plus psychopath mixed in for flavor. The art style is impressive with great character designs as well, and even with a stolen soundtrack, the tunes still make me turn my headphones up to max every time Endeavor is on the screen. The story is easy to follow yet nail-bitingly intense, and if you ask me, My Hero deserves more praise for what it is. Should you watch it? Yes! So for the surprise, here it is. I'm spinning a wheel at the end of each episode to announce what anime the next Saiwi is going to be on. Some episodes might be off schedule because I could choose an anime I've already seen, for example, My Hero Academia, but for the most part, whatever it lands on, I'll complete and review next time, letting you know Saiwi, should you watch it. So let's just spin this month's wheel. Okay, here we are. We're going to be shuffling a few times to mix things up, even though I guess it doesn't make a difference because I'm spinning anyway. But here we go. Let's decide. That sounds like shit. You guys probably can't hear it, but whatever. Oh, pog me. Alright, looks like next Saiwi will be Ass Class or Assassination Classroom. Thanks for sticking around for the conclusion. Leave a comment letting me know what show to cover next and if spoilers are a no-go or no one cares. I'll see you next Friday with possibly a Saiwi, but more probably another anime video. Peace.